If you clicked on this video, you're one of three people. One, you either own or you run a theme page or just a large social media platform with a large following. Two, you're either starting out or you're thinking about making a theme page. Or three, you're just here because you feel sorry for me because I'm a small YouTube account and you just want to give some clout to me. LOL! But no matter what your situation, hopefully you'll be able to relate to this video, and hopefully at least by the end of the video you'll have a bit more information around selling a page than you did previously before clicking on the video. All I simply ask for is if you could leave the like button blue down below, it'd be greatly appreciated. Anyway, let's get into the video. First of all, we need to recognize the different routes that we can take in terms of selling an account. The first approach we could take, which is probably more common, is by starting off a page from scratch. So this is going to be part one to growing a TikTok theme page from scratch. Look what I just woke up to. So my TikTok theme page in the last month has made me... Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. TikTok theme page from scratch. And then building it up to a point once that page reaches a target audience of which at that point you want to sell it. Or the other approach we could take is something that's called account flipping. Think of account flipping like a house. You buy it cheap, you do it up a little bit, and you try and resell it on as quick as possible. And more commonly in the past, this has been mainly done on Instagram. And as you may have seen, a lot of people have had a pretty decent amount of success buying and flipping pages on Instagram and being able to secure a decent amount of profit within a short period of time. And as a vague overview of what reselling is like, basically buying up the page, running it for a little bit to then grow the audience a bit more to then resell it after that added value since you bought it. And while a lot of people may do this, technically it's not legal to go out and purchase an existing account. Are you serious? However, from the gist of it, quote unquote, it's a bit of a murky area, and it's known that there's still no laws that can say you can't buy and sell social media property. But not only with that in mind, we also have to be careful of the potential scammers that are out there. So the question is, how can we go about buying and selling our accounts that are sort of within the guidelines of either TikTok or Instagram or whatever platform that you're using, and there's a safer place where you're less likely to get scammed? This is where the middleman comes in, where people have set up these certain websites just for the purpose of buying and reselling accounts. I've known some people to completely just go privately through people and DM them. This is not something personally I've done, but to be on the safe side, a lot of these websites can be quite trusted, and probably 9 times out of 10 you're probably a lot safer by going through one of these trusted websites. So a couple of sites to mention: if you're buying and selling predominantly Instagram pages, you can look at pages such as Suregram and Social Trader. But the one website that I'm going to be focusing on in this video is Fameswap. Not only does it let you browse Instagram pages, but also TikTok and YouTube. You can simply sign up for free, and no, unfortunately this isn't a sponsor, but once you've made your account, you then have the ability to browse all the different pages, which you can filter in terms of the size of the following, or in terms of how much the seller's asking for it, or just at the time it was up for sale. Personally, I like using this website because it gives me an indication of how much my page might be worth. And for reference for this video, I'm the owner of this theme page on TikTok, but personally I'm not in a position where I want to sell my page, but just out of curiosity, it's kind of nice to know what the market's like around buying and selling TikTok pages, and also if I keep growing my page, what the potential it has to then resell in the future. One indicator that I like to use when browsing these pages is something that's known as the TikTok money calculator. This is another website where it allows you to put in your username, and it goes off your page's statistics to work out an estimated revenue. And in terms of revenue, this could be completely anything to do with ads and sponsorships, but it's also including the creator fund. I like to use this alongside when I'm looking at pages, just so you can figure out a bit more of how much you might be earning while running that page, and that way you'll get a better understanding if the price that they're actually listing it for is reasonable. So if you look at this first page, for example, called Fact Hotline, it's a theme page based in the quotes niche where it currently has over 1.5 million followers. Now currently the person that's selling this account is selling it for 15k, and if we had a look at it on the TikTok money calculator, it shows us that its engagement rate is 0.2%, of where it returns an average around $900 to $1,500 per post. Now the TikTok money calculator isn't going to be the most accurate tool at measuring how much return you're actually going to get on your page, but in reality I reckon it's not that far off, because for example on my page it says here that my engagement rate is 2.86% and I average a return between $95 to $159 per post. And well, while most of my posts don't get as many views as this one did, this one post that I got did actually return me $216.86. And I know obviously that was on the higher end of the scale, but that $216 is actually over what this page is recommending that I am going to get per post. So what I'm trying to get at, in reality, this might be a pretty good accurate representation of what that page is making just individually through the TikTok Creator Fund. Now let's say that this Fact Hotline page was making anywhere between $900 to $1,500 per day on the TikTok Creator Fund. For this person that's only willing to sell it for $15,000, supposedly you're actually going to get a return on your investment investment within 10 days. One thing I've also noticed about the page is that they've got a link in their bio with loads of affiliate links, and of which we don't know how much they're earning through that. So again, potentially that might be another good way that we could be earning money by buying this page. And so with this, there might be potential for there to be an extra source of income there. So overall, this page, I feel as if $15,000 is a pretty reasonable price in order to buy it. In comparison to this next page, being a little bit similar to more my niche, being an account called Crypto Millionaire, where it's got 150,000 followers, basically being about crypto. Now, the person that's selling this is listed it for $25,000, which in comparison to what we last looked at, this has 10 times the less following and is supposedly $10,000 more. Well, to try and combat that, not only is the niche potentially more of a profitable niche, so for example the crypto niche, because the target audience of that isn't going to be little kids, for example, and you're targeting an audience of anyone 18 and over, you might be able to monetize your audience a bit better with this niche than just a standard quotes niche, just because anything crypto related, well, you're probably going to have people willing to invest their money into crypto, and in other words have more money than probably the little kids that are the targeted audience for the quotes page. Not only this guy quotes that supposedly it makes 1.2k a month, and with that return in mind, it would take you just under 2 years to get your return on investment. However, obviously that's dependent on if you actually bought this, if you're going to run the page very similar to what it's already doing now. But if we looked at the TikTok money calculator, it says that this page's engagement is 0.19% and its estimated earnings per post range from $90 to $150. So obviously in comparison to that last page, a lot less. So even just by looking at these two pages and weighing up your options, personally might be arguing that this page might be a bit overpriced, and the fact that this page feels a bit more like a steal for its price. So that's why when browsing on this website, it's really interesting to see what people think that they're going to get for their page, and using simple tools like the TikTok money calculator, even though it might not be that accurate, you can see why here with this example, why it's a factor that you need to include if you're thinking about buying a TikTok page. Now, for those of you who are probably more interested in personal profiles rather than theme pages, well, with this guy, and I'm sorry if I've said your name wrong, but this Nicky Tadef, he's got 7.6 million followers, and it's his personal profile based around photography. Now, currently, this is the most expensive account currently listed on the website, and it's currently up for listing for $1 million. Your initial thought might be thinking that $1 million for this account, well, it's got to be a joke. And it might well be, but when comparing personal profiles to theme pages, when it comes to personal profiles, there's a lot more potential to earn quite a lot for them. And this is me not dissing theme pages because, well, I wouldn't diss a theme page because I think that everyone should at least try and own one or try and make one. But when it's your personal and you're more of an influencer, anyone can understand that influencers make so much when it comes to anything in terms of sponsorships, brand deals, promoting anything realistically. For example, even Ronaldo makes more on his Instagram page than he does his football wage. Now, in this case, this might be quite accurate in terms of just the creator fund for this page, but when looking at the TikTok money calculator, this guy's engagement rate is really low, being at 0.19%. But I'm only assuming this because this page is really inactive and it hasn't posted, well, it hasn't even posted once this year. But the current estimated earnings per post are around $4,500 to $7,500, and of which, with that in mind, you're probably thinking $1 million is a complete rip-off for this. But like I said, in reality, the large-scale following that this page has, and especially also because it's verified on TikTok, it has the opportunity not only to make money on TikTok through sponsorships and ads, but to branch out onto other platforms, for example, Instagram or YouTube. So in reality, yes, $1 million for this account might seem like a rip-off, but when it comes to influencer pages, it's a whole different ballgame. But the last listed page we're going to look at is a page with a lot less followers, with a page with only 11.9k followers, being a pets and animal niche. Now, I don't actually have the current app for this account, but the supposed going rate for this account with just under 12k followers is going for $150. Now, one thing I have noticed on the app is I believe $150 is actually the benchmark and is actually the minimum amount that you can actually buy a page for. But just to put it in perspective, a lot of these pages on here seem to be selling quite frequently that are at this price mark of $150, and majority of these range from anywhere between 10k and 50k followers. So just off the back of this, we can kind of assume that if we were making a page from scratch and we managed to build it even up to a potential following of even over 10k followers, even though at that point in time where you're at 10k followers, you might not be earning as much, especially through the TikTok creator fund, for example, you still might be able to sell your page on for $150 and especially if you started this from nothing, well, you've got $150 from nothing. And so taking into account all of this information from looking at these other listings of pages, if I was to come up with some sort of price in terms of how much my page would be listed for, taking all factors into account including followers and the average engagement rate on a post, and by looking at the calculator tool how much each post is actually making, I feel as if a reasonable price tag for my page would be anywhere between $1,500 to $2,000. This might be a little bit on the high end, but with all factors taken into consideration, the supposedly average going rate of an account over 100k followers does actually range from anywhere between $1,000 and $2,000. And I feel as if something to take from this is that once you hit that 100k following benchmark, you can then pretty much almost guarantee yourself that your page might be worth $1,000 or more. Now, as I previously stated, that I'm not in a position to actually want to sell my page. I have had a couple offers come through of where they've sort of ranged between $500 and $750, but I feel as if because I don't want to sell my page and I want to keep running it, in order for me to actually sell it, there'd have to be some sort of offer that would be too good to not take. In conclusion to this video, not only did we discover a potential benchmark of 100,000 followers making the page worth around $1,000, it's probably safe to say that around 1 million followers is then probably then worth $10,000, and so on and so forth, and that multiplier. If any of you watching this currently own a page or you're thinking about making a page, let me know what you think on my prediction of how much I think my page is worth, in order for me to gain a bit more of an understanding to see if my pricing of the page is accurate or not. As well as that, if you've got any questions regarding theme pages, especially on TikTok, then let me know down in the comments and I'm sure I can help you out. If you were able to get something informative or you just got some sort of enjoyment out of this video, then like I said previously, feel free to leave the like button blue. It would really help me out a lot. Anyway, I'll see you lot in the next one. In a bit.